Yo, what's happening? I'm going to be doing a solo survival series where I go through things that you need to do to be successful in the game of Rust. We apparently have spawned next to somebody upgrading their base. We're a few days into this wipe on this server. So the first thing I suggest, which I don't understand why people do when they're not good at PvP, is play on a modded server, for the love of God. I don't know why you're trying to like play vanilla when it's just it's not meant for a solo player. So I'm just on a basic 2x vanilla server. The only plugin they have on here is for clans. And
Hey man.
yeah, so let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to do is build near Outpost, because we are solo and Outpost will be our best friend. So we're going to run it straight to Outpost from wherever we spawn at, and the first thing we are going to do is get a bag down. So we'll do one more test to see where else we can spawn at, because this is kind of far away. So since I just killed myself, I'm going to have to drown myself. It's always a lovely experience. Yeah, we're just going to test out the spawn areas. Once we get to Outpost, we'll take a look around the map, figure out where we want to build at. And yeah, we will collect any boxes along the way, any cloth along the way, any nodes on the ground that we can just straight up pick up. And that is all we're doing. Oh, we are even farther away now. So we'll just have to kill ourselves once more in hopes that we get a little bit closer. Should be able to do that again. There we go. We are on a basic 2x vanilla, no plugins whatsoever. You can see I have no BPs. We're just running it straight to Outpost, even further away this time around. So we're not getting any good lucks with the spawns. Just gonna try to drown ourselves again. Hopefully we can get that one spawn that we had earlier. We probably should have just ran it down from there. That was our best option. But it's always good to see what other spawns there are on the map, since they are random. Usually they're on the bottom right and bottom left, and sometimes top left. It's very rare to get a top right spawn, but could happen. Unless they altered the spawn points, which I doubt they did. And yeah, we'll just stick to this area and run it straight to Outpost, avoiding any confrontation. As a solo player, we're obviously not trying to waste a ton of time, unless you just want to troll people. That's up to you. But if you're watching this video, you're probably trying to figure out how you can successfully build a base in a relatively short amount of time in an area that you want, without having too much trouble. So we're just going to put ourselves in between terrain, or we're going to put the terrain in between us and anybody that we see, so that we don't get bothered and we can just do our thing, try to avoid bases. Might have to do a few loop-de-loops here and there. I do believe this server just wiped a day or two ago. I'm not sure if the BP's wiped, because this force wipe was not a BP wipe, which is unfortunate. I do not like when they do that, but it's up to your opinion. So there's somebody right here. I don't think he's gonna bother us though. Running down the road is probably not your best bet, but you're always taking a chance running through the forest. So I'd rather be in an open area with somewhere I can hide relatively quickly, rather than running through where a hiding spot for somebody else. Does that make sense? So I'm going to be in an open area, but be near somewhere I can hide super quick, because if I'm just running through a forest, I might come across somebody that I don't want to see at that moment. Alright, we're gonna have to start cutting through this way. Big valley up here. So I'm going to point out like pretty much everything I'm doing. So now this guy's shooting at us. I put the terrain in between me and him. Just gonna try to run to the water, swim away. Don't know why he's being so aggressive towards the naked. Seems like he gave up already. Probably just guarding a buddy who's farming or building. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to point out pretty much everything I'm doing. So as a very new player, you'll learn everything you need to know. And as an experienced player, you might learn some things that you didn't know. I would like to consider myself an above average Rust player. I've probably put in 2,000 to 3,000 hours in and out of the game, learning everything about it. So even though I've only got like 1,500 hours in game, I've also put in quite a bit of hours outside of the game as well. So like when you're going down like a cliff or like a base, if you just put your butt towards it and back up into it, you might clip into something that'll reduce your fall damage, which is what I was doing earlier when I was going down the cliff. And yeah, this is going to be unedited, uncut. So you might want to like put it on ×2 speed or something when we're running somewhere, or just sit back, eat some dinner, chill out for a minute, because I will be talking about some stuff when we are doing things like running and farming. We'll be discussing tips and tricks that I've learned, and whatever else comes to my mind. It'll be a little chill time. Hopefully won't be too boring. Try to keep it interesting. Yeah, for these first couple minutes we're just going to be running straight to Outpost, avoiding anybody that we come into contact with, gathering some food so we don't die. But yeah, a lot of people try to farm on the way to where they want to build, and that's not really ideal because you're going to like use up your hunger really quick from farming, and then you're gonna maybe not find a food source, and then you're kind of screwed. If you come into contact with somebody, you're not only getting hit by them, you're getting hit by your starvation. So little marshy areas like this are the best place to get a ton of food for free, basically, because just mushrooms everywhere. Starting to get a pretty decent amount of food supply now. And I'm just going to kind of be peeking around once in a while, making sure nobody's following me from a distance. Using the corner of my screen to see things that are farther away, because FOV in video games allows you to put things in the corner of your screen to enhance them. We're getting pretty close now. I'm going to try to avoid junkyard. Also, these things, if they're out in the middle of nowhere, it's a pretty good spot to pick up some boxes if they're lying around over here. Doesn't look like this one has one. And I'm hoping this outpost has stuff around it. Doesn't look like it does. And we have enough cloth for a bag, so I'm just going to craft it up in case I die. They're just going to get a bag instead of all of my cloth. Oh, there's a bunch right here. I love when people plant their seeds instead of throwing them out. Come across to get a nice little chunk of cloth. It's like a give and take, you know, this game. I don't really believe in karma, but this game has got a good way of giving and taking. It's like got a good balance to it. I would go check that out, but I'm lazy and I'm just trying to get to the outpost. See if one box really isn't worth running all the way over there and back. Can't be greedy, man. Cannot be greedy. Oh, somebody's over here somewhere. I heard footsteps. Gonna hoof it. I do not like being in open areas like this whatsoever, so I try to just straight line it towards an area that dips down or something. Definitely am hearing someone unless my footsteps are doubling. Oh, yep. I guess that guy was getting door camped. Not too big of a deal if we get killed, but we're getting pretty close now. Once we get to about 09, I'm going to put my bag down. And if anyone comes across me, I will aggressively pull out my bag so they see my building plan. A lot of pretty big bases already for it being like the second or third day into wipe. It's also about to be nighttime, which is pretty good. Could probably go hit some barrels near the outpost. I think we're pretty close. I'm gonna gather a stone node and a tree. I'm also gonna put my bag down. I'm going to call it Outpost Far, so that I just remember what it is. I think everyone's going to be running over towards those rev shots, so that's why I'm gathering it right here instead of running out further. I don't think anyone's going to be too interested in coming over where I'm at right now. Just got to use your gut sometimes. So I just want to get some tools, and I'm probably going to gather that other stone node, because I haven't been bothered yet. Yeah, I had a lot of requests on Discord and in a poll that I took on my community tab for a completely uncut solo gameplay series. But I'll try to keep it as interesting as possible, like I said earlier. Because there is going to be a lot of farming and not a lot of action until we get some real weapons. Might have a good bow fight here and there, but it sounds like a lot of people got guns already. So we're gonna have to find a real shitter to take out with a bow. Alright, so one thing to remember is now that we have tools, it's gonna show up on my hip. So people can see that I have some form of protection, even if it's just a pickaxe. I'm gonna gather this too. Sounds like whoever's in this area is busy with that rev over there. And that's pretty much all the farming I'm gonna do, unless I find another opportune spot. Just kind of taking a little peek when I come up the hill. You don't want to like balls deep rush in with all your loot all the time, you know. You gotta be patient. This looks like a decent spot to gather this real quick. I'm probably going to trade some of this stone for wood once we get to the outpost, so that I don't have to make myself a huge target by knocking down trees, because they can be heard from like almost 2 squares away, or like a square and a half away. And it's getting nighttime, which means I probably could knock down a couple trees. I'm going to make a hatchet, and I'm also going to craft a bow and 5 arrows. Throw that out, we don't need it anymore. Just get my inventory a little bit more organized than it was. Alright, what is this? Stone? So once we get to the outpost, I'll show you my settings. Had a couple people show me a few tricks to make it easier to see in the nighttime, which is a good time to farm. I'm gonna grab this one tree because we're next to the outpost now, so if anyone shoots us we can just run down the hill and we can tank a hit or two. We got some mushrooms, our health is up a little bit. Can't find the X on this freaking tree. There it is. Where'd it go? So I'm not sure what the night lengths are on this server because I could have altered it. Just check by the stars. It looks like it is slightly faster than normal, but it's probably still around 15 minutes. It's a beefy tree, dude. Alright, let's go check out what's over around the outpost. A note over there. Yeah, this node right here. I'm gonna grab this tree. Got a good amount of stone. I don't know why it's stacking to 3,000. It's pretty strange. But another great perk of playing modded as a solo player. You don't have to have a ridiculous inventory when you're trying to get together a base. So I made a tip about this in a previous video, but I'll just say it anyway. When you're in the outpost, you can melee. You cannot use weapons. Tools are not considered weapons. Anything in the weapons tab in your shop or in your crafting thing. So we can use anything in here in the outpost, but it is still considered a leak force. So you just have to put it away before the timer goes up. Well, I'm hitting a freaking stone. And yeah, you can use it a couple times before you get shot the F down. But yeah, if you shoot like a bow or anything, you're gonna get slapped. So if there's any animals over here, you're gonna have to melee them. I am pretty sure you cannot throw spears. I think it'll attack you if you throw a spear or like throw anything. Pretty sure it's gonna mess you up if you throw something and get a hit marker on an animal or something. So I would just try to melee the crap out of it with like a combat knife if you're coming over here and there's a bear or something. I don't know if you'd be able to kill a bear with a melee weapon unless you're a beast. Yeah, we're just going to take this opportunity in the safe zone to farm whatever's over here during the night. And then go do some shopping. So yeah, you can like hit any barrels or anything over here. Sometimes there'll be like this road might have some barrels on it. Or there might be some of those electrical things around here. It just depends on the map. I'm gonna see if there's any more nodes over here real quick. Yeah, we do it since if anyone shoots us, they can't loot our bag, and we have a bag like about right here. So we'll be back over here in no time to loot our stuff. I think this might be in the safe zone. But I don't really need metal right now. It's going to waste an inventory space. So I'm going to make a lap around, see what else there is. I'm trying to find some stone nodes. And whatever material we end up with more of, we will sell for the other. In the shops in the outpost. Just enough to make our little 2x1 that we're about to build over here somewhere once we take a closer look at the map. Oh, looks like we got one of these things over here. I'm gonna craft myself some clothes and go in there. We'll come back in a second once they're done. Take a little peek down the road. Oh, we got a heli right here. Decent. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go that way right now. Yeah, we'll leave that heli there. I don't think anyone's going to snatch it anytime soon. We can come back for it after we build a base. I don't think there's going to be any nodes over here. There might be. Would be nice. Oh, it looks like there's one of these things over here. 4 rads? I don't think that's enough to get in there. Make a helmet and a bandana too. Oh, hazmat suit. Okay, I do. Just gonna cancel that. Decent. And there's another node over here. Perfect, dude. This is perfect. So as you can see, the outpost is always fruitful, unless altered by the server owner. There's usually going to be quite a bit of stuff down here you can farm within the safe zone. I'm going to take a chance and check this pylon out. I think that's what they're called. And nothing. There's a note over here though. Sulfur. Don't need it. Not farming anything that I do not need at this moment in time. Sneaky little barrel. Perfect, perfect. Alright, we're gonna go back over to this other area. Dude needs to calm down, man. Oh, someone's got a bolty already? Decent. Yeah, I could try to go over there, but I'd rather build a base first, just because I have a bunch of stuff on me. If I didn't have all this stuff on me, like there was nothing around the outpost, but I had like a weapon on me like this bow, I might try to go contest that if there's only 1 or 2 people alive after the fight is over. Ooh, they're getting close to the outpost. Outpost was not having any of that shit. Yeah, it sounds like there's a pretty decent sized fight going on over there. I'm gonna just let them do their thing. Let's go recycle some shizness. Alright, we're just gonna recycle everything except rope. And since we got a hazmat, let's just chuck our clothes in there, get some of the resources back. Kinda sucks that I made those and found a hazmat. But it is all good. Yeah, so while we're here, I don't think anyone's around. So something I do is I turn this setting down to 0, and then I turn these 2 all the way up. And that allows me to see in the nighttime a little better, and then turn on sharpen and leave everything else off. And it will make it a little bit easier to see in the dark than it was before those settings were altered. A little tip for your settings, it shouldn't alter any performance that I'm aware of. I'm usually at a stable 60 FPS, but after this update kind of tanked because they're trying to get all of the new Unity things compatible with their code or whatever they got going on, you know what I mean? Unity just updated to a new version recently, and Rust is trying to get all these things sorted out, and it's making me lag, boy. Alright, so we're going to buy some wood. We'll get like a stack of stones worth of wood, 10,000 wood. Just so we don't have to chop any trees down for a while. And I only got that much because 7,500 stone should be more than enough to make our 2x1. We've already got some metal frags. That's enough to make a door, at least. I would like 2 doors, so I'm gonna just spend some scrap on the metal frags so I can get 2 doors, and we will get 1 furnace. Well, I mean, our scrap is pretty much going to be gone at that point, so we'll get 2 furnaces worth of low grade. And then we got 9 scrap left. Got some rope. Now that we got all this wood, we can craft ourselves a crossbow for more protection. This compound bow is pretty OP as well if you're sneaking up on somebody, but we're going to have to do some quick fights. So I'm gonna pull this out and we'll craft like 5-6 more arrows. Don't want to craft too much ammo Never want to have too much ammo, you know what I mean? I see some people roaming around with like 30, 40 arrows, but never even get to use them half the time. Alright, take a little drink. So we got a hazmat, which means we don't really need any clothes. We got some tools. We have more than enough cloth. I'm going to start crafting things that we're going to use in the base. We're going to get TC, a door, and a code lock, and then a door, or a key lock. And then a door and another key lock, and another key lock for TC. The crafting times are pretty short on here, especially since we're next to it. I think it's normal. We're just next to a workbench. I don't think they altered the crafting times at all. Yeah, doing this on vanilla, man, like, it's just going to be a really, really bad time, because this is a high pop server, right? We're playing with like 160, 200 people on this server right now, and if we're on vanilla and you're a solo, man, there's just going to be like groups of 6 to 20 roaming around slaughtering you while you're trying to get this shit set up. It's really not, it's going to be a waste of time, pretty much, is what I'm trying to get at. I don't like to waste a lot of time. I want to get down to it, but I'm not playing on like a 5 times so that it's like super ridiculously easy. Nah, man, I'm just playing on a 2 times vanilla, bro. Like, all these solo players out here trying to fucking play on vanilla, man, like, don't waste your time, dude. You'll have more fun on a 2 times vanilla. Just take a little peek once you get in there, make sure it's not all super crazy modded or whatever. Like, there's plenty of just normal 2 times vanilla servers. It's just no plugins. Makes the solo experience a whole lot better. Alright, so we got a crossbow, we got some food, we got our TC and doors ready. We have enough for some furnaces. I'm going to craft another sleeping bag and put it down before we start building.